Good evening, everyone. Good morning, ma'am. My speech is about the COVID-19 and women economic empowerment. The current COVID-19 crisis deeply impacts women, men, girls, boys, and other genders differently. While men make up the majority of those who have died from the virus, women and girls bear the brunt of disproportionate care burdens, disruption in income and education, poor access to health and other essential services, greater risk of being dispossessed of land and property, and gender, digital, and pay gaps. For women already living in poverty, these impacts can be shock to their economic stability overall and impede their ability to purchase critical necessities such as medicine and food. The COVID-19 crisis will have significant implication for US investment in global women's economic empowerments, including the Women's Global Development and Prosperity Initiative with the Development Finance Corporation, Women's Initiative, and U.S. Investment in the Women Entrepreneurs Financing Initiative, WEFI. The gender and social norm manifestation of COVID-19 present an urgent need for governments, business, community leaders, and decision makers to act. Women's employment in the health of sector disproportionately exposed them to COVID-19. Women comprise about 70% of global health care workers and are front of center to exposure to COVID-19 and stigma within their communities for working near, near COVID patients. Additionally, the gender pay gap in the global health workers is 11% lower payments, decreased ability to purchase necessary supplies or access care. The undervaluing of women works hurts women and healthcare system, and underinvestment holds system back from preparedness in times of crisis. Unemployment of women overrepresentation in the informal sector heightens their vulnerabilities during crisis. The International Labour Organization estimate that 195 million jobs could be eliminated globally due to the pandemic, with a majority in sectors of pre-domesticated women. Furthermore, over 740 million women around the world work in the informal sector as low-wage worker. Employment that is vulnerable to elimination due to COVID-19 and which often lacks protection against exploration and harassment. Migrant women working in a non-essential service industries such as food service and hospitality and domestic workers in predominantly female heavy sectors or e.g. housekeeping, childcare are particularly vulnerable to being lead of exploited for their labor during COVID-19. Furthermore, the 26% gender gap in labor force participation now seems to be widening further, and the U.S. Department of Labor reported in April 2020 that women held 60% of the 700,000 jobs that have been eliminated in the U.S. so far due to COVID-19. Women and adolescent girls take on this proportionate care burdens with negative impacts on their economic empowerment. Due to social norms, women already perform 76.2% of the total hours of unpaid care work, more than three times as much as men. During public health crises such as COVID-19, care burdens dramatically increase and include caring for the sick, vulnerable elderly, family members, and children who are home due to school closure. This not only exposes women and girls to contracting the virus from infected family members but also reduces time spent on generating at home, operating a business, or other economic activity. The disproportionate impacts of women due to COVID-19 threaten the stability of food security in the developing world. Women comprise of on average 43% of the agricultural workforce in development countries and are estimated to account for two-thirds of the world's 600 million poor livestock keepers. Limits to global food supplies could require countries to focus on domestic production, which puts women at a greater economic disadvantage as their land rights and already less secure in countries secure globally. Additionally, this will be likely increase the risk of violence and exploitation by male sharecroppers and credit services. In countries where social norms restrict women from harvesting the land they own, in the field of laborers are not able to travel to norms to assist in planting, weeding, and harvesting. This could lead this could lead to increased labor demands for women and girls, which compound already high household care burdens. In addition, many women sell agricultural products in local and informal markets. As markets close due to the COVID-19 crisis, women will experience further losses in income.